Marvel Rivals has proven so many things over the years. You guys can see we've got a new background loop screen, which is, it's the changing of an era. Marvel Rivals has proven that 6v6 is the superior format to 5v5, and I think the player reception kind of speaks for itself. And you can sit here and say, oh, well, it's a new game, so you don't really know if the format's that much better. But really, you can. There's a couple things that they've done that have made the game clearly the second coming of Overwatch 1. It is beloved right now. It has everything built in that we could have asked for with the Overwatch franchise, from storytelling. And this is not a knock at Overwatch, by the way. This is credit to Marvel Rivals. The storytelling, the ease of difficulty, how much easier it is, and what volume they can compete at from taking quality stories and characters from the Marvelverse and implementing them into the game, whether it be a known character or a more relatively new character that you wouldn't recognize at home. I had a lot of people grilling me saying that Jeff the Shark is a known character. He's all this. If you went and asked your average, American at home if they knew who Iron Man was, they would say yes, but they would not know who Jeff the Shark was before Marvel Rivals. I'm just throwing that out there. Marvel Rivals has iterated and innovated at every way, and they've proven so many things about why people want to play the hero shooter genre. And the reality is, less is not more. This is something that a lot of 6v6ers, who shout out to the Blizzard team, who implemented 6v6 full-time into the arcade mode, at least, for all of you guys who played it, who, love 6v6. You guys showed up and you played. I had a lot of people tweeting at me saying, like, how dare you talk about 6v6 this long and not even get on and make a video on the playtest? And my answer to you is yeah. Yeah, because we never should have left 6v6. And guess what? Marvel Rivals has the best hero shooter format I've ever played in 6v6 open queue with bans. And to be honest, I'm on the open queue with bans train now. I think we were wrong about role lock. I'm not going to focus too heavily on role lock in this game, or in this video, on this video. I more so want to, kind of put the icing on the cake for the 6v6 debate. Something that I looking back, I wish that we all could have handled a little bit differently. There's definitely some things that I would have done differently, but man, have the takes aged like fine wine. And shout out to Hawk, because he nailed it. And apparently the hazard meta looks awful over there. I see all my Overwatch buddies crashing out on Twitter. It's not going to get better, guys, until the format changes. I hate to break it to you. But yeah, no, I think Marvel Rivals has proven that 6v6 is the best kind of format for... 6v6 is better for hero shooters than 5v5. How did they prove that, right? How did they prove that? Well, it turns out less is not more. More synergies, more combos are things that actually people love and make hero shooters fun in the game. And while Overwatch 2 decided to become a diet version of itself, a watered-down sequel, Marvel Rivals took what Overwatch 1 was and iterated on it and added to it with things like team-ups, which have been received really, really well. I think they're really, really cool. The team-ups are awesome, okay? They're awesome. They could be balanced a little bit better from time to time, but you have bans to help mitigate and create alternative metas and diverse gameplay loops. So they added team-ups, which added to big synergy, okay? On top of that, there's just bigger moments. There's more interactions that your heroes can have. There's different gameplay loops that you can have. It's simply more options. That's all it is. And if you want a hero shooter to be successful, it needs to have depth. It needs to have a lot of these options, or else you're just Call of Duty at that point. You're just a standard, typical shooter, and you lose a little bit of that magic spark. And to me, seeing and playing 6v6, both really, I did play a little bit of the quick play 6v6 on Overwatch, but especially in Marvel Rivals, who doubled down on that same premise, that same point, and to have it be received as well as it was, really just kind of goes to give the 6v6ers a little pat on the back. You guys sat there and got told, oh, it's nostalgia, it's rose-tinted glasses, you don't actually want this, that, blah, blah, blah. All this gaslighting, man. And it turns out you guys were right. And so many people looked at, what I was arguing. And they sat there and they said, oh, this is just Samito stirring up a storm. And it's like, no, like this is a chicken or the egg conversation. Like, what came first? I'm making these videos because I gave 5v5 a fair shot. And there wasn't a single content creator out there who actually sat down and was like, yo, this actually is not better. I don't like it for these reasons. And, if you go look at my original takes about 5v5, you'll sit there and you say, oh, well, he was neutral, actually. He said, let's wait and see. Flats was more negative than I was when the announcement first came out. So You guys just have been proven right time and time again. And, I have no problem falling on that sword. And I'm glad that not only was 6v6 popular enough to maintain a permanent mode in Overwatch, but let's just face it, 5v5 Overwatch is not better than 6v6 Overwatch, nor would Rivals be as big of a game as it is right now if it was 5v5. It's just watered down, bland, boring, way less options, way less gameplay, and Marvel Rivals has proven that less is not more. It's iterations all built on top of what the existing hero shooter space was. Ban system, I guess you could say Paladins, but let's not pretend for a single second here. Overwatch was the throne. It was the king of hero shooters. Overwatch, since it came out 8 years ago, 9 years ago, Jesus Christ, 9 years ago. Ever since Overwatch came out 9 years ago, it was the king of hero shooters. It was. But for the first time ever, Marvel Rivals has taken that throne and actually iterated on the original Overwatch 1 game in a very, very fun way. And again, it just couldn't do that if it was 5v5. It wouldn't have been able to do it. The gameplay loop would have been watered down. The team ups would have been way more limited because you can run 3 team ups on one team if you wanted to. There's a ton of different team ups that you can run. It allows for crazy compositions to be made in strategy, and because of how they actually have made the team ups, and where like a lot of them include one strategist and one duelist and one tank. For example, one that I like is like Luna Snow's. Right, Luna Snow has one with Iron Fist, but she also gives one to Jeff the Shark and Namor, right? It's like there's all these interconnected abilities that allow players to form comps that encourage gameplay diversity in picking heroes in each role. Like, you have Thor with Storm and Captain America. You've got Groot with Rocket Raccoon or Jeff the Shark. I could go down the list, Scarlet Witch and Magneto, where like you have cross-role team-ups that allow for crazy compositions to be made that you couldn't make elsewhere. And what Marvel Rivals has shown us that we can go into open queue with bans now. Being able to create your own and curate your own experience matters the most in hero shooters, and that's what hero bans do. I feel bad for the Overwatch balance team. Like I think, listen, a lot of decisions were not great. However, it's almost like, I don't want to say it's impossible because like October of 2020 happened, but we were missing the mark when we talked about what bans actually did. Bans heavily alleviate a ton of pressure from the balance team to make it perfect. And that's not what makes them so nice. What makes them so nice is that it lets the players curate their experiences. And one thing that I said about Marvel Rivals is that some of the stuff they were going to do, we're going to expose a lot of the really bad decisions that were made by original Team 4. Hero pools clearly being one of them. How we got a hero pool system without hero bans, it's just... It's lazy and it's arrogance, really, is what it was. That's kind of what it was. Like, they should have sat down and made a real hero ban system. They should have. And I shudder to think what would have happened had Overwatch 1 been able to continue on with bans, with a content cycle. The Overwatch League might still be around. It's crazy to think about. Goats meta never would have happened. It lets you keep broken, outlandish designs, which are why people play the hero shooter genre, and Marvel Rivals has really proven that and reminded us all of why people come to this genre. It lets you keep crazier designs whilst letting players curate their own experience across all ranks. I saw people say, oh, hero bans should only be high ranks. Why? Should only elite players be able to curate their experience? It's a quality of life for all players. Again, like what might be busted in silver and unfun to play against in silver might not be good in GM. You might hate playing against Scarlet Witch in silver. So you might say, no, make these guys aim. I'm going to make them aim. We're losing to a witch and this guy's not good. I want to ban Scarlet Witch because I don't like playing it. And that player's experience is better that game. And a lot of the team's experience is better that game because they don't have to play against that. So it's about curating your experience. It's about letting the user come first and customize how they want to play the game. And it's a little bit of a psychological thing too, where you feel like you're in control. It was so awful about hero pools. Like you felt like you had no control. It was like, okay, well, did Blizzard fuck me this week or no? And that's not good. It's not a good player experience. It's not fun. So I like open queue with bans is just the wave. You get faster queue times. You can still flex across roles. And really how Marvel has done, strategists are broken in the game. I've said this since the alpha. I see so many people sit there and say, oh, it's the honeymoon phase. Boys, I've been complaining about sustaining this game since the moment I fucking played it because I knew it would be busted. And honestly, big fire alarms are going off right now about them continuously adding support ults that just make everybody hard live. You're seeing triple support comps be incredibly strong, and there's only a couple ultimates in the game that are worthwhile into them. So they either need to add support ults that are designed to mitigate healing. Like Sue Storm's ult, in my opinion, it shouldn't have been about mass healing. It should have been a little bit of healing and heal reduction to enemies inside the area so you could zone off a point. I think that would have added, like, imagine if a Luna's ulting point and you Sue Storm ult point. Big counter ult there, right? And I'd love to see them look to change stuff like that. But no, I mean, it's just Marvel has just shown you that less is not more. More is more. More is better in the hero shooter genre. And the release cycle, everything about this game, they're about to go out and prove it. They're about to go out and prove that they've got the correct model. Now, like, it's really, really funny. From the time I saw the alpha, I said this game would be big. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I was wrong about the game at first too. I thought it was going to be shit until I played it. Everybody hated on the game in the hero shooter genre. Turns out everybody was wrong for the exact reasons that I claimed. Said, hey, no, this is actually good. The third person is good for this game, right? You can see your skins. You can do all this stuff. The abilities being crazier is good for this game. And now people are saying the hero release schedule is too much. Oh, baby, are you about to be proven wrong? These guys are going to double the volume of Overwatch, Valorant, all of them. And what brings retention to the hero shooter space? The heroes. We all know this, guys. Overwatch has said it for years as well. The heroes are the main source of content in the hero shooter genre. And so they're going to be able to put out double the content with some of the biggest brands in the world, the most recognizable hero names in the world. And they're doubling everybody else's output, and they're telling the story of these characters in the game in their own saga. It's over.
It's Jover.
These guys are going to take over, and they're not going away anytime soon. This game easily could be a Fortnite tier game. Easily. This could be the first hero shooter that could be the Fortnite tier game. Overwatch 1 was as well, by the way, for its time. In the previous generation, like Overwatch was that game. Overwatch was kind of the first straw that broke the camel's back to make gaming mainstream. It went Overwatch to PUBG and then to Fortnite, and then Fortnite just exploded everything. And Overwatch could have been Fortnite. It could have been. It's interesting. It's fascinating to talk about. But Marvel Rivals, you know, it's super accessible. It's got wide reach. People on console are loving it too. This game is the fucking truth. And if you think for 1 second that release schedule is somehow bad, you're crazy. They don't want this game to be balanced. They want it to be insane. And so they have insane character designs, insane hero stories, and guess what? An insane release schedule to top it off with the most insane, fun, open format the hero shooter space could possibly have in 6v6 open queue. So guys, to me, Marvel Rivals has proven that 6v6 is the superior format for the genre. Less is not more. This is something that we've been preaching about Overwatch 2 and, you know, Overwatch Lite, I like to call it, for a long time. And, you know, we were shut down because people said, oh, players want a simpler experience. No, they don't. You can't gaslight people into thinking less is more. You can't do it anymore. You took food off the plate. You destroyed hero identities, and they're still not back, and they won't come back until you go back to 6v6. And I'm here to say this right now, and this is just like kind of my farewell, I guess, to Overwatch for the interim. I will not be playing any or streaming or making like any real Overwatch content, maybe some reaction videos, but I will not be playing the game until they go back to 6v6 or add bans. Because why would I sit there and take less? And you know what? If you guys like Overwatch and you want to keep playing, be my guest. You guys go do that. But until it goes back to 6v6, it's just a light, inferior version of a once special game that simply chopped off its own arms. So, you know, it is what it is. Enjoy what you like, but that's the main reason I have not been playing 6v6 and making content. Marvel Rivals is more fun. It's newer. It's 6v6. It's got crazy characters. It's the future. Marvel Rivals is the future of this genre, and I don't see it losing steam anytime soon. So, yeah. Hope all you 6v6ers are happy. I think either way, you guys have a variety of options now, and I'm glad to have been a voice for you guys to get you, hopefully keep you all on that format as long as possible. You guys nailed it. You were right, and the ball don't lie, and players voted with their time. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy the new background. I'm ready for the new era, and it's going to be great. Love you all. Thank you so much. Take care. Peace out.